Have you ever caught yourself saying, "I'm too old for this"? Maybe it's when your grandkids ask you to play a new video game, or when a friend suggests trying a dance class, or even when you scroll past an ad for a travel adventure and think, "That's not for someone like me anymore." Let me tell you something. I hear you. Retirement can feel like a door closing. But what if I told you it's actually a doorway to something brighter? You see, society loves to whisper that aging means slowing down, shrinking back, becoming a spectator. But here's the truth. Your years of experience, your hard-earned wisdom, those aren't limitations. They're your superpowers. And today, we're tossing out the old script. No more "I'm too old." Instead, we're diving into 4 bold ways to reinvent yourself after retirement. Not just to survive, but to thrive. Now let's start with the first step. And trust me, this one's going to surprise you. Bold reinvention. Number 1, rewrite your "I used to" story. I want you to think about how often you say, "I used to be a teacher," or "I used to run marathons." Those words, they're anchors. They tie you to a version of yourself that's frozen in time. But retirement isn't an ending. It's a blank canvas. Take Margaret, a viewer from Florida. After 40 years as a nurse, she retired and felt lost. "Who am I now?" she asked me. So, she did something radical. She signed up for a pottery class. Not because she wanted to sell mugs, but because she'd always loved the feel of clay in her hands as a kid. Fast forward a year, and she's hosting Clay and Coffee, nights at her local community center. She told me, "I'm not Margaret the retired nurse anymore. I'm Margaret the creator." Your turn. What's one thing you loved before life got busy? Painting, writing, tinkering with cars. It's time to dust it off. And here's the kicker. You don't need to be good at it. This isn't about mastery. It's about joy. Which brings me to bold reinvention number 2. Turn your wisdom into a legacy. You've spent decades learning, growing, stumbling, and rising. That knowledge, it's pure gold. But here's where most retirees go wrong. They lock it away, thinking, "Who'd want to hear from an old-timer like me?" Let me stop you right there. Meet Carlos, a retired mechanic from Texas. He spent his life fixing engines but felt irrelevant after retiring, until his grandson asked him to help restore a vintage car. Carlos started filming their project, sharing tips on YouTube. Today, he's got 20,000 subscribers, mostly young gearheads who crave his no-nonsense advice. You don't need a camera, though. Mentor a neighbor's kid. Write a memoir for your family. Teach a workshop at the library. Your stories and skills are a gift, and sharing them doesn't just help others. It reminds you how vital you still are. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but what if I fail? What if I look silly? Here's the thing. Reinvention isn't about perfection. It's about curiosity. It's about letting go of old and embracing new. One small, brave step at a time. And guess what? We're just getting started. Next, we'll tackle how to build a new tribe that fuels your passions, and why letting go of certain relationships might be the best thing you ever do. But before we move on, I'd love to hear, what's one thing you've always wanted to try, but told yourself you're too old for? Let's chat in the comments. Remember, age isn't a cage, it's a launch pad. And your next chapter, it's going to be unforgettable. You know, one of the most powerful things about retirement is the freedom to choose who you spend your time with. Let's be honest, not every relationship in your life fuels your soul. Some drain it. And that brings us to bold reinvention number 3. Build your new tribe and let go of what no longer fits. Think about this. When you were working or raising a family, your tribe was often chosen for you. Colleagues, neighbors, school parents. But now, you get to curate your circle. And I'm not talking about cutting people out ruthlessly. I'm talking about making space for those who inspire you to grow. Take Helen, a viewer from Oregon. After retiring, she realized her weekly coffee group only ever complained about politics, aches, their kids. It left her feeling heavier every time, so she quietly started attending a memoir writing workshop. There, she met Ruth, a former librarian who'd backpacked solo through Asia at 68, and Tom, a retired firefighter writing poetry about his experiences. Helen told me, "These people don't see age as a wall. They see it as a ladder." Your assignment? Seek out one new community this month. It could be a book club, a hiking group for seniors, or even an online forum for aspiring novelists. And if you're thinking, but what if I don't fit in? Let me ask you, what if you do? Now let's get uncomfortable, because that's where the magic happens. Bold reinvention number 4. Embrace discomfort. Yes, really. I know. Discomfort sounds like a dirty word. We've spent decades building routines, safe spaces, predictable rhythms. But here's the secret. Growth lives just outside your comfort zone. And I'm not saying you need to skydive or trek the Sahara, unless you want to. Small intentional risks count too. Take Frank, a retired accountant from Ohio. He'd never left the Midwest until his wife passed. At 72, he booked a solo trip to New Orleans. No tour group, no itinerary. Just him, a jazz playlist, and a promise to say yes to every invitation. He learned to dance the Zydeco, ate alligator gumbo, and played chess in the park with strangers. When he came home, he told his kids, "I thought I'd feel lonely. Instead, I remembered how to live." Your challenge? Do one thing this week that scares you just a little. Maybe it's trying a Zoom yoga class, even if you're worried about looking silly. Or finally asking that neighbor with the gorgeous garden to teach you about roses. Discomfort is just fear of the unfamiliar. And guess what? Familiarity is a muscle you can strengthen. Let's take a breath. Reinvention isn't about overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about tiny, brave choices that add up. Rewrite your story, share your wisdom, curate your tribe, dance with discomfort. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, that's okay. This isn't a race, it's a rebirth. So tell me, which of these steps feels most exciting or terrifying to you? Maybe it's letting go of a friendship that's run its course, or finally booking that trip you've dreamed about. Drop a comment, and let's cheer each other on. Change isn't about age, it's about courage. And you've got decades of it stored up. In our final part, we'll talk about the glue that holds reinvention together, and how to keep moving forward, even on days when doubt creeps in. You know, reinvention isn't a straight line. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, like you've unlocked a new version of yourself. Other days, you might wake up thinking, maybe I am too old for this, and that's okay, because the final piece of this puzzle isn't about never doubting yourself. It's about knowing how to keep going anyway. Let's talk about the glue that holds reinvention together. The power of yet. I'll never forget a message I got from a viewer named Samuel. At 78, he decided to learn piano. For weeks, he struggled. "I'll never get this," he thought. But then his granddaughter told him, "Grandpa, you don't play piano yet." That tiny word changed everything. Yet is a promise. It's permission to be a beginner, to fumble, laugh, and try again. So when you catch yourself saying, I can't start a blog, or I'll never make new friends. Add that magical word. Yet. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Setbacks. Maybe you tried a new hobby and hated it, or you reached out to someone who didn't reciprocate. Here's the truth. That's not failure. It's data. It's life whispering. Try a different path. Take Linda, a retired teacher from Arizona. She joined a hiking group but felt out of place until she realized she craved quiet, not crowds. So she started leading sunrise meditation sessions at a local park. Now her Sunrise Squad has 30 regulars. Your reinvention isn't about getting it right. It's about getting it yours. So where do you start? Right here, right now. Not tomorrow. Not when things calm down. Today. Send that text to the art class instructor. Write the first paragraph of your memoir. Say yes to the invite that scares you. And if doubt creeps in, talk to yourself like you'd talk to your best friend, with kindness, with fire, with belief. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself a year from now. Who is that person? What have they tried? How do they stand? How do they glow? That version of you is already waiting. All you have to do is meet them. So tell me in the comments, what's one tiny step you'll take this week to become that person? Let's hold each other accountable. And if you're feeling brave, share this video with someone who needs to hear. It's not too late. Age isn't a countdown. It's a permission slip to play, to explore, to stumble, to soar. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey. Now go out there and make your next chapter the best one yet. Remember, the world needs your becoming. Don't keep them waiting.